when it comes to training, what is a normal person? I have to be honest with you. I have no idea what that means. I don't get it. I think I get it. People are talking about that in relationship to the amount of time that I put into training. For example, if I'm on a podcast or talking with someone and they ask me, how many days a week do you train? And I say, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. All modalities, 6, 7 days a week, sometimes 2, 3 times in a day. They'll say, yeah, but what about normal people? And I get what they're saying, right? I'm a professional. I should be doing that. I should be training that often. If I'm not, then I'm just an empty suit. Then I'm just a guy who's just sitting up here talking, right? I'm not putting my money where my mouth is. If I do that, then I'm just the guy that looks into the camera that says, and go train it, who doesn't fucking train it himself. That disgusts me. I don't want to be that guy. I have no respect for that guy. But I get it. Not everyone has the time to do this 6 days a week. I have a very realistic expectation. But I have to be honest with you. I do not understand what people say. Well, what about normal people? Uh, I tell you what I hear when I hear that. What about normal people? I hear, oh, you're talking about a person who doesn't take the responsibility of personal protection seriously. You're talking about a person who doesn't take the responsibility of carrying a lethal weapon seriously. That's what you're talking about. But you just don't want to say it. What about normal people? I'll just come out and say it. I think that what you're saying is, well, what about, no, let me say this. From my point of view, what you're saying is, but what about irresponsible people? Um, you listen, people do what is important to them. It's that simple. If you want to find out what is important to people, watch what they do. Don't listen to what they say. Don't watch what they're posting on social media. Don't pay attention to what famous instructors they've trained with. Watch what they do with their time and their money. And that's how you'll know what is important to people. Sticking a feather up your butt doesn't make you a chicken. Okay? And I get it. Everyone wants status and all this stuff. Status isn't going to take you very far if you're trying to defend your life and the life of others. You can't convince me that someone doesn't have 20 to 30 minutes a day to dedicate to the craft of being a citizen defender if it's important to them. You just can't. You can't convince me that they don't have the money to buy a SIRT pistol and practice every day. You just can't. And by the way, the amount of money that tool will save them, if they knew how to use it, and we're going to be rolling out some stuff that will teach you how to use it properly for the end user here very soon. IDS is going to be doing that. But I'm sorry, you just can't convince me. Like I said, you'll do what is important to you. You'll spend your money on what is important to you. I bet you people are spending between $60 and $350 a month on cable TV. I bet there's a lot of people who normal people who are spending hundreds of dollars a week on alcohol or cigarettes or junk food or whatever, some other decision that isn't functional. So when I hear this, but what about normal people? I don't get it. I'm not going to BS anybody in these vlogs. I'm just not going to. I do not understand what it means. We do not have the expectation that others should be putting in the time that professionals should be putting in. We have a very realistic expectation. But you'd be shocked at how far 20 to 30 minutes a day will take you. Be shocked at how far an hour a day will take you. Imagine what the world would be like if everyone who carried a firearm or had a permit to carry practiced with a SIRT pistol or something like that for an hour a day and had a friend that came over immediately after work and worked on some hands-free skills after work in their garage or their basement. Imagine what the world would be like. Be a very different place. Um, it's something that escapes me, particularly when it comes to the firearms world. I know a lot of people perceive us as being in the firearms world, but I don't perceive us that way. I perceive us as being in the self-defense world. Martial arts students train all week long. Firearms people shouldn't. You're carrying like you have no idea the level of responsibility that you have. You know, I don't know what the difference is. I think I kind of know. I think it's assumed that all you need is your gun and everything's built around the gun. And as long as you have that, everything's going to be okay. It's the answer to all of your problems, even though it only covers a very narrow piece of the larger spectrum when it comes to personal protection. If all you're doing is training with your firearm, you are a one-trick pony. And if you haven't heard me put out metrics on that, then, well, you should. You should check it out. I don't have the time to go into it. Just go to Funker Tactical and see my last video. Go Funker Tactical, Todd Fosse's last video, and see if that changes your mind.